Okay, we are going to upgrade our mid-2014 MacBook Pro, which has a terrible problem of only having 129 gigabytes of solid-state drive memory, and we're going to upgrade it with this new OWC kit that has 480 gigabytes. This is the Aura Pro X2. I got the kit because I like to have that enclosure part, and this is actually the solid state drive. And it also comes with the screws that's needed. They're special screws. I think I might have had the torque screw, but I didn't have the other one that's kind of flower shaped. I forget what that's what it's called, but we'll find out in just a moment as we get into it. Okay, this is the scary part. I'm going to take off the cover of my beloved MacBook Pro for the very first time. Okay, oh, cool. What they gave me is actually magnetized. The screws are very, very small. I hear that these two screws are going to be a different size. So I'm going to do those at the last moment to make sure I'm using the right one. It's hard to tell, but yeah, that's definitely not the right one. Okay, so I was using the right one. This one, I think it's the Pentalone one. You do have to put a little force in there to get them out, but they come out pretty easily. And it does feel like you're really catching it as well too. So I can see why they use these specialized screws to put everything in there in good shape. Okay, so that side. And I'm going to probably cut away here until I get to the end part, but just keep in mind, from what I heard, these two screws will be a little different, so I'm going to make sure I put them in a different section of my mat here to keep everything straight. And of course, I already got my grounding device on, so I'm not going to hurt anything once I get inside. So I'll be back with the magic of video, and you'll see me just about all done with this unscrewing. Okay, I just took out the last screw from the back. These two in the back actually are different. They look pretty close, but there's a small little collar on the other screws that the two in the back don't have. This is the mid-2014 version. I think they're on other versions later. There might be additional one of those screws there, but on this particular version, it's just this screw and this screw. They are different, so I'm going to put them into a little different compartment on my silicone mat. And now for the scary part. I'm going to pry this open a little bit. I feel like I'm assaulting my MacBook Pro, but sorry, ready? Oh, okay. This is for your own good. Okay. All right. Okay. Might do a little dusting in here, but it's actually not too bad. Okay, so that's the back cover. Carefully put that away. Wow, man. That is the inside of my MacBook Pro. Actually, it is surprisingly clean. Just like some slight dust particles here, but not bad. This is the solid state drive in question that's going to need to be replaced. And yeah, it's not bad. This is of course, this is the battery pack section. And the first thing I need to do is to disconnect the battery. Okay, it's warning me if I do this, it's going to void my warranty. You got to be careful not to mishandle it. Okay, let me come back to this. Okay, time to break the seal of this new kit from Otherworld Computing. Yeah, let's see what we have inside. Okay. And there is my 480 gigabyte solid state drive. So small, but that's what's going to have our main memory in it. This is the part I really bought from OWC for Otherworld Computing. Came with this, which is it's actually it's really nice. It's a nice aluminum case. This is essentially, I think I can get this open. It doesn't appear, yeah, it doesn't appear to be screwed in yet. I don't want to break it before I get into it, but should open up with maybe there's something else. I probably want to read those directions. Just see, maybe needs a little coaxing. Maybe something in there. Okay, I'm gonna. Oh, I think there's some screws here. There's these rubber feet they give you, and I think one of them also has screws there. So I'll check that out. Seems like, but why would they put that on there? Anyway, I'll figure that out later. This is essentially allows you to take your existing solid state drive, which in my case is only 129 gigabytes, which I knew was going to run out eventually, and now I can't even upgrade the latest operating system. So this will allow me to take that old drive, put it in here, and now I have another USB drive. So I mean, how many times have I worked on old computers where it's old memory and I thought, oh yeah, I'll use this again, or it's an old CPU chip and I'll use it for something else, and 15 years later I find it still unused. But now I'll be able to actually use the hard drive I'm going to replace with this. So I thought that was really a good thing to get with this. It comes with a carrying case as well, so it's a pretty nice kit. Comes with a micro beat cable as well, so not bad there. Oh, okay, let's see. It's got a little plastic holder, which is probably pretty good for the screws. These are extra screws that work for this, and I think one possibly for the actual solid state drive. And yeah, this looks like this is one of it comes with the two different ones. One's a torque screw and the other one is a pendulum, I think it is, something like that. It's more flower shaped. So one of them I thought I have in probably larger sizes. So actually I know I don't have anything this small, so I'm glad that I purchased the kit, because now I have these to work with. Gives you some important notices there as well. Okay, before installing the OS versions and EFI firmware update for your Mac. Without the update, the host computer will not recognize. So it's got to be 10.13 High Sierra or later Mac operating system. So I'm on Catalina now, so I shouldn't have a problem with that, but that's a good warning. And it gives you a little information, if I can get it out, on the Envoy Pro 2, which allows you to use your old hard drive. I don't know where that hair came from. And allows you to use your old hard drive. You stick in your old hard drive into this, and then you have a USB drive that you can use. So that was one of the main reasons, besides getting these handy little extra specialized screwdrivers. But this, I think, is a pretty cool thing. Got to figure out about this, because I think you put a rubber strip there, but it looks like there's already one here. So I'll read that just in case. I don't want to mess it up. It looks pretty cool. This is aluminum, so it's very consistent with my MacBook Pro's construction, and that'll be really cool to be able to utilize that old hard drive. Don't want that to be in a landfill. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to do surgery on my beloved MacBook Pro from mid-2014. Its only real issue is essentially that very small solid state drive. So once we do that, we'll essentially be able to really make it a functional computer where I can actually upgrade to the latest operating system. And I think that will be a great thing. I do eventually want to get the new M1 chip MacBook Pro. I'm going to hold off on that for a little bit, but I heard they're awesome, so I might wait to see if there's another surprise coming, because they only have I think it's only the 11-inch. I would like to get the 13-inch if possible, so we'll see. But anyway, about to get started, so I got to clean up a little of this mess and get ready to do surgery on the laptop. All right, I figured you'd want to see my struggle. I'm just afraid to hurt anything in here. Okay, there's like a little tape here I gotta pull off of the battery cover. Okay, it's just kind of stuck on there. Okay, it wasn't too bad. And then there's the battery connection. Supposedly I could just pry this off with my fingernails, of which I don't have many. Okay, the last thing I want to do is damage something that I have to take it into Apple for. It's hard enough to get in there right now with everything that's going on. Okay, well, this is really making me a little nervous here. Okay, I'm going to maybe gently use some pliers. Okay, all grounded. Not pliers, a little. There's no lip there. Okay. All right. I'm sorry, MacBook Pro. Okay, it looks like I didn't damage anything. Okay, so it is now disconnected from the battery. So now we're in better shape. As I mentioned before, this is the hard drive in question. Actually, everything looks really clean, which is pretty good. Okay, so now it's going to leave the other screwdriver. I believe this is a Torx screwdriver. It does come in the OWC kit, which is really handy. Okay, it does appear to fit in there. So I'm going to just undo that. And the nice thing about the kit they give you is these are magnetized, so I like that. That's pretty cool. They're not cheap tools. Pretty good. Okay, so that is the old one that needs to come out. Okay, now I since have figured out how this thing opens. It slides open. The reason I'm pulling out this Envoy Pro device is because this is one of the main reasons I went to OWC. So I just didn't want to waste my old, solid state drive. As small as it is, it's still nice. So they're kind of giving a little warning. Apple factory SSD only. It's probably specially designed for that. So that's totally appropriate and fine. Stick that here for now. There's another warning here. I don't think I need to do anything with that. So in case someone inherits this in the future, they won't get confused. So I'm going to take this drive out and I'm going to pop it immediately into this one here. So let me go ahead and get in here. I just need to wiggle that out a bit. And there we are. That is my current 129 gigabyte drive. Served me well, but at some point I knew eventually it would just be too small. So this goes right into this device here, and I'm going to give it a second life as a USB drive. Okay, it's not going in there super. I guess I got to do it a little bit of an angle. It does have some notches there. Okay, there it goes. It's got some notches there, or one notch, so it goes in only one way. So that's a good design. All right. Their kit does come with some screws. Assuming one of those would be probably this one here to put that in. So since I'm here anyway, I'm going to let's go ahead and get the old SSD solid state drive. Get them ready for a new home. Just want to get that in there for now. I won't do the case yet, but okay, so again, use the nice magnetized drive screwdriver they gave me. Stick that in there. It's a little bit crooked. There we go. Little difficulties there. Okay, it's one of my Butterfinger days. Okay, there we go. Just tighten that down. Okay, I'll give him a new life. Okay, I think it goes like that. Okay, I'll put in the screws later. They come with a little rubber foot that you cover the screws once you put it in there. And then, you know, I've got new life for my old solid state drive. So that's one of the things I really liked about this kit, and do appreciate that idea that they gave us. Okay, now time for the main event. Okay, again, I am grounded, just so you know. This would be our new 480 gigabyte drive. Okay, and it's going to go in pretty much the same way. The notch, of course, does tell you the only way it can go in. Just going to give you a little idea of the background or backside surface mount. Components extremely small. Everything looks really nicely done. Very nice soldering. Okay, let's just wedge that in there. Okay. All right, come on, buddy. You're making me nervous. Okay. Okay, I guess it's pretty well seated. Yeah. Okay, looks like the screw hole mounts matches up nicely. Okay, time to seal this back in. Use that same screw I took out of there. Gotta tighten it nice and firm, but not super tight. Okay, and that's not going anywhere. All right. Okay, it's been fairly simple actually so far. One thing you don't want to forget, of course, is to reconnect your battery. I'll put that tape back down there. I guess if someone were to look at this, they'll notice, hey, it looks like someone's been in here. I really don't see much gunk and mess in here at all. It's actually nice to know that I had a case on it, so I don't know if that kept some of the dust out, but looks like it's fared pretty well. Okay, so I got the solid state drive in. I've got the battery reconnected. The tape's fraying a little bit, but looks like it's in good shape. I'm gonna just probably dust it a little bit with some liquid air, and I'll put on all the screws, and I'll be back, and we'll start from the rest of the process at that point. But looks pretty good. It's in. The battery's in. We're looking good. Looking good. much. Oops. Blowing away my screws. Okay, that's good. Don't want to listen to these screws. Okay, we're going to carefully put these back in. Started with one of the regular screws here, but I'm going to go for these back ones here and get those out of the way, since those are the only two that are different. They don't have an extra spacer by them. Inside's all clean. Shot a little air in there. Okay, I'm tightening these up, not super tight. I don't want them to strip. Okay, I'm going to do the rest of these and I will be right back. Okay, the scroll bar's gone through. The amazing part is they essentially set up something so they must have remembered the Wi-Fi settings I had on it, because it went to the internet and it pulled down what it needed to do or what it needed, and I'm at this step here. So I have a brand new solid state drive in there. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose this disk utility, and I'm going to go in there and I'm going to format that new drive. So I do have my 1 terabyte Seagate drive that I've been using for my backups. So this is plugged in, so you should see that as the Seagate drive. This is their base drive. Okay, that's a solid state drive. Where is my other drive? That's not expected. Okay, well, I got a problem here because this is my 1 terabyte Seagate backup drive. This is solid state drive. I have plugged in the side here, and then this is I think the base system disk, but I don't think that's not my drive. That's okay. I need to figure this out. I'll be back. Okay, we're at the scariest part of any computer upgrade. I used to do a few upgrades to old PCs I had. This is really the first one I've ever done since converting to the Mac iOS and MacBook. So let's see if it works. I'm going to turn on the power, and then I'm going to hit the Command and R key at the same time until I can get into the utility. Okay, power has been hit. Okay, Command R. Command R. Starting internet recovery. This may take a while. Okay, so something didn't work here. Okay, well, I've been told once you see that going, you're okay. So it is going to try and recover the iOS system, since the new hard drive on there has no operating system. So it's going to go through this process. This is one of the good things. I think what it's going to try and do, I was hoping to avoid it with this install. I think what it might try to do is bring me back to the same operating system as the one I originally bought. I think it was not Lion, but it could have been, it could have been Mountain Lion. So we'll find out in a moment, but I'm not going to have you wait for that little scroll bar to go over. We'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so the scrolling bar went away, and I had the same presentation to back up from my time machine, but I also had the disk utility, so I went back and did disk utility, And now I do see the OWC Aura Pro X2, 479.676 gigabytes. So that appears to be okay. It's even set up for Mac OS Extended Journaled. So I think I'm going to try, I think I can do that here. Nope. I'm going to try and, actually, let's get out of there. If I can maybe get out of this. Okay, well I think I'm going to try and go to the time machine and back this up, since this appears to be ready. So back in a moment. Hey Google, stopwatch and tell me the time.
Downtime is on, which means I can't help with that.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, looks like my Google is not going to be helpful because downtime has resumed. Okay, since the solid state drive seems to be okay, I'm going to choose restore from time machine and see if I can get this to work. Okay, got my good information here. I'm going to continue searching for backups. It's going to find it in the Seagate backup drive. Okay, so that's where did you put your time machine backup? And that's there. Okay, restore from. It's thinking, and should be able to I just backed it up today. Okay, there we are. So that's the version I want. Okay, where do I want to send it to? I'm going to send it to my fancy new 480 gigabyte drive. Oh yes, okay. Hit restore. Okay, you will lose all the information currently on the disk. Make sure you have backed up any items you want to keep. This disk is blank, so that is okay. Erase the disk, please. Okay, firewall encryption will be turned off for this drive. After the restore is complete, use security and privacy preferences to turn on firewall encryption. Okay. And it's restoring. Okay, and I don't know if it's going to come up with the time frame, but I would imagine this is going to take a little bit of time, just as it's preparing to restore the Macintosh hard drive, which ironically it was always called, even though it's a solid state drive, but maybe I'll change that name later. That's not my fault. Anyway, okay, restored 18 megabytes. Okay, time remaining, it's calculating. And this will be interesting to see how much time it estimates this will be. It's kind of a little later in the evening, so I may leave this overnight. But it would be nice to see how much time it comes up with. But essentially it does show you it's definitely nowhere near the kinds of problems I used to have when I was working on IBM PCs. Not IBM specifically, but PC clones of all types. Constantly issues with that. This is a pretty relatively easy upgrade using a kit. It was very nice. Do love that I have my old hard drive that's going to be, or not hard drive, solid state drive, that is going to be continuing in service. Here it is now. This little light is on. And nice aluminum case, very reminiscent of other Apple products, matches the original as well. But I'm so happy that this is not going to go into a landfill. It's not going to be garbage. It's going to be used. And it's only got 129 gigabytes, but that's still pretty good for an additional USB drive. So really happy about that. Okay, and it has calculated. Time is going to be 5 hours and 11 minutes. So don't worry, this video will not be that long. We'll come back later, but it looks like it's restoring. So I'll film something when it comes back to the very end, but it does look like we're on our way to success. And maybe that estimate's not quite right. We'll see. But signing off for now, and we'll come back later and just show you that how everything worked. But all in all, a very good kit from OWC. Really do, you know, it's a nice solid state drive. I'll be testing that a little bit later, but I think it is actually going to be quite a bit faster than the one I had currently, but I still have my old drive in this new case. So screwdrivers are great. I'm going to keep those in case I ever need to get back into this laptop or anything else that uses those same screws. Always nice to have good quality tools, and those definitely work. So as we get into the restoration process, I'll show you later how it all worked out. But so far, so good. Okay, it looks like we're back in. Had me sign into my iCloud account. So it's setting up the account now. So it looks like the restore was okay. We're not quite back to complete setup yet. Okay, it's got some questions about the file vault disk encryption, so that's good. They're reminding you about that again because before they warned us that they were turning it off. So I'm going to go through a few of these little screens here, make sure I get everything set up, and then I'll be back in a moment to show you the final results. Okay, just a footnote, everything is working fine. I just want to mention I did have a problem with the new Envoy Pro. It wasn't recognizing that it was even there. So I rebooted, brought it up again, and still same issue. It didn't know it was there. So couldn't erase it if it couldn't see it. So what I did is I unplugged it, and then I plugged it back in while it was on. And at that point, then it recognized it, and it's been fine ever since. I was able to erase it and reformat it, and now it's another usable USB drive with 129 gigabytes of memory. So just a aside, if you are getting this, you have that sort of problem, try doing that. Just unplug it, plug it back in, and then you'll see it, and then you can erase it and get yourself going again. But other than that, everything went well, and really happy with the kit. Again, a little more expensive than some other kits that you could get it as well from OWC with just the hard drive without the kit. I thought it was worthwhile saving my old SSD drive. The reason I had gotten that was because at the time, around 2014, I thought that was going to be the way things should be because it was faster, more direct access to the data. So I could have gotten a regular hard drive inside of it for double the memory, same price pretty much, maybe a little bit more, but still, I just wanted to go for the solid state drive. So this allowed me to upgrade now that this is no longer enough with the 129. So now I'm at 480 megabytes and very happy with the OWC kit. So everything's working fine. It's working on encrypting the drive right now. And after that, I'm going to install the latest operating system and I'll be up and running. So hope this video was helpful if you're going through the same process. Okay, looks like the system is completely restored. Everything looks just like I normally had it, even where I had just recently changed I used to have this pop up on the left, now it comes up here. It's actually looking pretty doggone good. It's got a launch pad. Okay, there's my normal items. Okay. Python launcher, idle. Looks good. Scrivener. Yeah, everything has been restored. So it's looking good. All right. Word, Microsoft Word for Apple. Okay, let's see. Looks pretty zippy there. Okay, yeah, it looks like everything is working fine. So now I have the 580 gigabytes. Of course, it'd be nice if I checked. Let's go ahead and check that. Oh, is it coming up? Actually, I don't want that part. Let's go see if Word is popping up. Nope, okay. Let's go to About This Mac. Let's look at the storage. Oh yeah, 479 gigabytes. Okay, oh, this is what I love. 375 gigabytes available. Okay, now, yeah, I have to explain, on this old hard drive of mine, my 29 gigabytes, which I'm going to be using now for other storage as a USB drive, it lasts me a long time because I think Apple has some pretty good memory or storage access, devices in their programming. I didn't really miss having the extra storage for some time. It just, when I hit the wall when I was trying to install the latest operating system, and it's a 12 gigabyte amount, and I had like maybe 11 or 10 or something like that, so it just wouldn't even work. So that's when I got to the point where I had to really kind of look at the alternatives. So with 480 gigabytes, that should last me for some time. I'm probably going to be using this as a second computer for electronics lab work and work on the Dream robot. But now I have my old hard drive as a backup as well, which is great for this kit. Again, I would give kudos to the Aura SSD Upgrade kit with the screwdrivers. Of course, you have the hard drive. They have them up to 1 gigabyte as well at these faster speeds. The enclosure for old drive is fantastic. Probably a little more expensive than some of them out there, but I think it's actually overall a great kit, and everything seems to be working pretty good.